Your booty is mine.
Gente de zona, una vez más, homenaje a Páparo de Río.
Keiko Forever y Alexander.
Ahí nada más.
Nando Bro. La mafia musical.
Ponle, vamos allá.
Castellano, qué bueno baila usted.
Mano para arriba otra vez.
Castellano.
Welcome to Electircal's workshop.
All right, Pirate Booty here. A lot of times people ask me, what tools did I use and what did I do? A lot of these things grew. I bought what I needed over the days, And these construction projects on a sailboat, when you're restoring it, you'll see if you do a lot of research like I did, all these videos and YouTubes, that either get a junk boat that you got to strip, which I really don't recommend. I'm gonna put a little video about that because that's what I did. You walk into it, it's 3 feet of water and everything's rotted. Unless you're a cabinet maker, don't. Find a boat that's gently abandoned, that, the cabinets, like the benches are still there and the bulkheads are still there and the berth, don't try to reinvent the wheel. But with that, I had to do a lot of heavy work, pulling out those bulkheads, 3/4 inch marine plywood glued a 1/2 inch and a lot of stuff over it. I had to grind out where those bulkheads were. There's that groove between the, well, you can see it like this, that the bulkheads slide in and they're, this wide, and how to get that out, get a smooth surface. So I sanded to death. Everybody that tells you does this will tell you, yeah, the mask, Darth Vader, right? So these are the tools I used for that stabilization phase structure, ripping the bulkheads out, sanding everything down, getting all the veneer that I covered the bulkheads with, those kind of things. I'm a guy that uses good tools, but not expensive tools, because when you need sanding pads, drill bits, batteries, you buy these off brands, you get one from a friend, which I did. You lose the battery, you're screwed. I had a Bosch, must have been a $400 electric screwdriver. The battery cost 200 bucks. Half my tools didn't cost that much together, right? The electrical phase, which I did all my battery work and testing and voltage and amperage testing and cutting and stripping of those miles of wires that I'm doing. That's the phase I'm kind of in now, as I redo my battery banks and get smarter about the electrical system, so I don't buy $200 worth of batteries every day, And the tools I use in my garage, I have a 2-car garage, luckily, but when I need to do stuff, I can put everything in one half of the garage, or you can do the same thing. The sawhorses I have stack up on each other, the plywood goes, everything's against the back of the garage. So I have a lot of extra space. Now, going to the boat, if you can have all the tools in the world, how do you get them to the boat? I tried the big heavy tubs. I got smart, smaller tool bag and light little bags. I separated the load and I can bring those over the lifelines a lot better, down into the boat, that kind of stuff, because trust me, it's not like you have levitation that just brings that stuff over. Fucking heavy. So the other side is extension cords. You use it a lot. And you do the rope method around you where you loop it and all this other stuff. I have a ingenious way I figured out, I'm sure other people did it too, but on how to, a nice bucket to drag that out and then put it right back in, and you're done. No more untangling this crap. Oh man, you just like throw it away, right? So I'm going to give you these tips. I'm going to save you money and show you what I used that worked and got double thumbs up. I would buy again in a heartbeat, and if a friend wanted to borrow my tools, I know he'd be good. Pirate Booty's out to save you money. Welcome guys to Pirate Booty time. This is tool time, and a lot of people ask me, what do I like, what do I use, and what would I recommend? So I thought this would be a good short video just for anybody who doesn't have this or is starting out. I learned a lot over the past couple of years about these things, and I don't know why they don't explain them in
some of the magazines and books and articles I read, but I'm going to condense it down for you. If I'd have known what I know now, I would have saved $200 on a battery. So let's get into this. All right, you've heard me in my other videos talk about this. This is a good generic battery charger, but best used for home and overnight. We're going to send a whole nother episode about batteries because I'm going to replace my existing one with a 3-bank battery system, a 3-bank charger, and better diagnostics, because what I learned in the Florida heat would have saved me $200. I'm going to save you $200 too. So this guy is small, compact, clearly tells you which system you're using, 12, blinks and gives you indications of what it's doing. It is a float battery. We'll get into that later on in the battery video. Now, everybody's got a multimeter, but the reason I use this is because of this guy right here. Welcome to your nemesis, the $200 battery, deep crank, every promise in the world. But a year later, with barely any use, you find it dead, as I did on 4th of July 2015. This battery actually is one I pulled out of the boat, a second that has given me problems and only a year old. Now, look at that. Oh, did I mention it's about 14 months? And my favorite store. Now, you can't order batteries off the internet. It costs you more to ship, but you're going to go back and forth with this guy over the years, so let's get down to it. A multimeter is important for just measuring the voltage, which I can tell you right now is 11.34. Too slow. Anything below 12.4, you're not going to get anything. In this case, at 11.37, my radio wouldn't even play. So off the amp of the boat, it was, and so you're like, what? Now, this is the key. Amperage. Amperage is, a friend asked me, what's the difference, right? Amperage is the push. Volts is the pipe. You can have enough electrons flowing through there, but are they lazy? Are they going 100 miles an hour? Your deep cranking battery. This will give you a far better indication of the status of the battery. So, $69 on Amazon, great reviews. Why buy one that you can't check amperage? Don't. This is a great tool. It gives me AC, DC, continuity, a ton of other functions I will never use. All right, let's talk the basic tools that I use day in and day out and did everything I need. Believe it or not, simple. Home Depot, solid, good quality. A clamp, I can't stress that enough. I hate when this stuff comes open in my pocket. All right, but as you very well know, you've seen them, wire cutters and pliers. This, a good old-fashioned wire cutter. Don't get fancy with the next tool and try to do it. This is tooth, grit, and done. I've cut battery cables with this. You can also crimp with this. Did you notice the little teeth right there? Multifunctional. This has been on my boat over a year, out in the elements. I put a little WD-40, it looks good. Love this baby. He's the guy that strips that wire and leaves that end on it. This is a, man, they don't even put brands on this anymore. I got this off Amazon for about $30. It has cut about a mile of line and stripped about 100 wires. It's tough and it works. You'll recognize it on Amazon. Now, when you fight your nemesis at $200 a battle, what I learned the hard way, and we'll go more into this, is just because you don't use the battery doesn't mean it's not using itself. And we'll go into this more in the video. I don't know if you can tell this. Only about maybe a 1/4 inch low. Do the slosh test. You can hear it slosh, right? Now, mistake I did, and we'll go into this later too. That is liquid tape. All great, seals everything until you try to get this bolt off right here. This gets jammed up in it. Vaseline. We'll talk about that later. What the short answer is, it boils away and uses up to 10% a month of its battery. You sit there and don't do anything to it, it'll boil away. You put a charger that's continually charging, it will boil it away. Add water once a month. I'll charge this battery overnight, add water, it'll be ready for another 6 months. But I did not know that. So with literally less than $100 in tools, I have run all the wire in my boat. I have cut whatever I need, crimped and cut whatever I need, and stripped whatever I need. Any wire butt connector, done. So with that, that's all I use, people. It works. Next will be woodworking.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Well, that's all, folks.